morning, everybody. How's it going? Happy Friday, almost the weekend.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It I'm glad to see you on, Luana, and we're excited to hear what you have to teach for us. Christina, she is going to be just a little bit late, but she's going to be jumping on in just a minute. So, yeah, no, she was the one that let me know about all that you do and stuff. So I'm excited to uh, hear about it, and I know she is too. Um, so yeah, we'll just give everybody just a couple more minutes to jump on, and then we can just get started.
Sounds
Do you
great. Thank
need
you.
anything? Do you need to like share your screen or anything like that?
No, I
Okay.
had some pictures. I was running behind this morning. Sorry, everyone. I had some pictures I was going to show, and I am happy to do that at some point. If we have time to do that, I'll let you know, and we'll share screen so I can post pictures because I have pictures of success stories and cute little puppies that I can show for sure.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Well, and I can always even, we always record this video and put it in circle. And so we can always include those if you want to send them to me as well, if we can't, get to it. So,
Sounds like a plan.
yeah.
Bob, thank you for signing that paper so fast for me the other day. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Nazar, it looks like you're on.
No,
I'm
I'm
welcome.
not.
Nazar, you have a mustache now.
I do.
I didn't recognize you until she said your name and I looked at the screen. Wow.
He's very
Welcome.
proud of that mustache.
Uh,
That's a statement stash.
Yeah,
It
they're making a
is.
comeback for sure.
Well, I'm going to Benson Boone concert tonight, so I had to keep it.
Is that why you're
What?
doing that?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right,
All
well, let's
right.
get started, guys.
Yes,
Let's
let's get
go.
started.
All right. So
Uh,
I just start talking. I've never done this before, so
yes, you just start talking and we all listen, but hopefully it becomes more participation. And so we want to thank Luana for taking the opportunity to train today. I hope that you guys find value. And sometimes it's interesting because I hear like people like, oh, well, you guys are doing too much training. I'm like, sometimes I feel like we're not doing enough. Like there's so much we all need to learn. There's so much value in this group that needs to be shared with one another. We need to elevate ourselves to become the best version of ourselves and become the best agents that we can possibly be for our clients. Our clients deserve better. And so that's why we're here. That's why we train. We want to be the highest per agent productivity brokerage out there. And the only way to do that is by helping support one another to grow. So Luana, take it away.
all right. So everyone, I am Luana from Houston, and I have been licensed. I started real estate in '06. I started being a full-time realtor in 2011, and I got my broker's license in 2016. But before all that, I did property management and I managed apartments for about 13 years. So I've pretty much been in the real estate world since my entire adult career, and I've been helping humans and pets find homes that whole time. And it wasn't until recently that I turned it into a lead generating pillar and I became intentional and I systematized it. And so I wanted to share that with you guys today on how you can take something you're passionate about. For me, it's pets, but for you guys, it might be anything. But just take something that you're passionate about, that you love, that you enjoy doing, and you would do for free, and then turn it into something you can systematize and turn into lead gen and eventually grow your business off of it. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. And hopefully I'm able to share it in a way that whatever it is you're passionate about, you can duplicate it in that one thing. So for me, it started with finding pets homes, not because I wanted to generate income off of it or turn it into a lead pillar, but I personally love dogs and I wanted them all to have homes. So every time I found a pet that needed a home, first I would try to make my home the home that it came to, but after my husband put a stop to that, after so many times, I decided to start pawning them off on people that I knew. And it all started with, I don't remember a time, honestly, in my adult life that I wasn't trying to help save all the dogs in the world. And I recently started talking to a friend of mine about it because I told her I was doing this presentation, and she is a repeat client of mine with real estate. And it's funny because she actually rented an apartment from me 18 years ago. And 17 years ago, her and her husband adopted a dog from me. And it's just funny that I had forgotten all about that 17 years ago. And so 2 weeks ago, I was telling my friend about this, and she currently has a dog that she recently adopted and saved from death row at a shelter. And she reminded me, well, hey, we got Cody from you. You've been doing this for at least 17 years. So having it come full circle made my heart really happy that to remember that I did that 17 years ago. So I really don't remember a time that I didn't. And it wasn't until about 2019 or 2020 that it hit me to systematize it and grow it into something bigger. And it started because somebody reached out to me and asked me to bottle feed 2 newborn Chihuahua puppies. The mom had been hit by a car and had to go into emergency surgery, and they had to do an emergency C-section and deliver the pups. The great news is the mom survived. The bad news was that because of her surgery, she was unable to feed the pups. And so we needed somebody to bottle feed them. And long story short, I have history and experience with bottle feeding newborn puppies, animals in general, squirrels, you name it. I've raised them from infancy up. And so a friend of mine who runs a rescue knows that I have this experience, and she reached out and asked me if I could take in these 2 Chihuahua puppies. Luckily, we all make our own schedule, right? And so they had to be fed every 2 hours. And I brought in the puppies and I just worked my work schedule around it and bottle fed them until they grew up to about 6 weeks old. We got them off the bottle. And by 8 weeks old, they were adoption ready. And all of a sudden I had to take pictures of them and I had to post them on the rescue website to get them a home. And my friend who runs the rescue told me that they were going to be posted individually, not as a set, and that they would 90% more than likely be adopted one at a time. And it broke my heart. Not only were they going to go to a stranger's home that I didn't know, but they were also going to be separated. And that just broke my heart. So I asked her for permission. I'm like, hey, if I find them a home with somebody that I know, can we place them together in that home? Can you not put them on the website? Give me a couple of weeks. And she said, sure, absolutely, no problem. But they're going to have to, because they're already part of the rescue, they're going to have to fill out all the applications and they're going to have to pay the application fee and the adoption fee and all that kind of stuff. But yes, you can do that. Okay, no problem. So I did what every realtor does. I went to my database. I was like, hey, there are 384 people. Somebody's got to say yes. So we immediately made flyers and we posted it on social media all over the place. And I emailed everyone in my database the cute little pictures and cute little videos of these teeny tiny Chihuahua puppies that were adorable. And I asked everyone in my database if they would be willing to give them a home. And the tagline was, I helped you find your home. Now help me find theirs. And in the email, Arbor Real Estate Group, the brokerage that I owned at the time, but now as a team under 5, we said we would sponsor the adoption fee if any of our clients wanted to adopt these pups. And luckily, somebody stepped up and they were willing to take both. So they adopted the puppies. Arbor Real Estate Group paid the adoption fees. And 2 days later, they got a big, huge care package at their front door with a whole bunch of goodies, like, clothes for the dogs, because every dog needs clothes. And then we also did, toys and squeaker toys and beds and treats. And they were set up for a while. They had everything they needed in this little care package. Well, they did what everyone does. Everyone loves their pets, people. Like that's the reason this thing works for me, because there are crazy pet people out there. I'm one of them. And there's that meme, like my husband and I, we have, taken 2 pictures in the last 4 years, but there are 93 pictures of my dogs in the last 2 weeks. That's me. I have that many pictures of my dogs. And so kind of building on that, my clients that adopted these puppies immediately put the little clothes and outfits on the dogs that I had sent them in the care package and posted pictures all over social media, thanking me, their realtor, And literally they said, my realtor Luana Lamas helped us find these dogs. And thank you, Arbor Real Estate Group, for sponsoring the adoption. And they tagged us in all these cute pictures of all these pets. And that's whenever it hit me, like, I could find more pets homes if I do this more often. And that was when it became something that I knew I had to create an SOP around and systematize. So I kind of was told by my husband that if another dog moved in, he was moving out. I don't really think he was being serious, but I didn't want to call his bluff. I caught what he was throwing. So as soon as somebody would call me and say like, hey, we have a pup and, you know, we need help, I would immediately take pictures of the dog and go to my database and say like, hey, who wants this dog? And the same process, like we would always send a care package. We would always pay the adoption fee. And so we started looking at the local places that have like, I think they call them like the last chance or something. I call them death row. Like if they don't get adopted in the next 24 hours, something really bad is going to happen to them. And I just can't have that happen on my watch. And so I started looking at those pictures and I would send it out to my database like, hey, help me find this pup a home. And my friend that ran the rescue got hint of what I was doing. She figured it out because she's in my database and her son is in my database. So she went and actually shared this information with everyone in her rescue that was approved for adoption and foster. And she started telling everyone like, hey, Luana and her team, they're sponsoring adoptions. They're helping support us. We need to do the same and help support them. So they started adding our information in their newsletter. They started sending it out to their database. Like, hey, if you guys need a realtor, use Luana because Luana sponsors adoptions. Luana pays every time we need a donation. Luana steps up. So that kind of started the momentum as well. And so with social media's help, and then we added it to our newsletter and we added it. So our clients get 2 emails a year. Well, they get several emails a year, but 2 emails specifically pertaining to pet adoptions, just reminding them that Arbor Real Estate Group sponsors any adoption fees if they're to adopt. And if they know somebody who wants to adopt, to let us know. And also if they know a pet that needs to be adopted, a pet that needs a home, to let us know. And so it grew from there. And because all of our clients know this about us, whenever anybody tags like on social media or in a community page, hey, we're looking for a dog. Does anyone know? They always tag me every time. If anyone finds a dog on the side of the road or at a park, they tag me every time. So I have become well known in the community as like the person who can find the dog the home, you know, and we've been very successful. So far, Arbor Real Estate Group has sponsored 19 pet adoptions in the last 4 years. Those 2 little Chihuahua puppies were the first 2 of 19 that we've been tracking. I have no idea how many we placed before the 2 Chihuahua puppies, because at that point it wasn't systematized or tracked. It was only a passion. But once my clients started getting involved and helping me, we've been counting and we've done 19 pets a home. It's actually been 17 dogs and 2 kitty cats. We found 2 cats a home too. So it's something that we've really enjoyed, and I would have done it for free, but and it's hard to track the business because a lot of my business is SOI, repeat and referral. So they're already in my database, and I don't know if they would have done business with me with or without the adoptions. But I do know that when I talk to them, they tell me, oh, I remembered you were a realtor because I see the posts that you post on social media about you don't only find humans homes, you find pets homes too. And I'm constantly saying that in a lot of my videos. And when I send out emails, they were like, so we always remember you're a realtor because we know you help find pets homes. You helped my cousin get her pet. You helped my, you know. So anyway, I don't know how to track it exactly with my database. But as far as brand new leads that I got that I never would have had otherwise, we've been able to close 5 deals since we started this. And my average commission is $9,000. So it's about $45,000. I think it was like $47,000 when I did the math on how much I can contribute, like specifically to this, in addition to the layering that it allows me to speak to my database more often, and it allows me to get in front of them more often. So, that's pretty much what we're doing here. And I do have an SOP around it that I can share. And I do have a lot of super cute pictures of the 19 animals that they were like sad and lonely and skinny and malnourished, and now they're super happy and flourishing with their new families, and it's a lot of fun. We also post on social media about it. It's in our newsletter, and it's in a lot of our videos that we post as well. So we've been able to really grow this thing, and I'm hoping to grow it even bigger. No pressure, but Tammy Friend from the Friend Group, she told me she was going to help me this year, this upcoming year. We're going to do some community events. And my friend that runs a rescue is actually going to bring some adoptable animals out to our community event, just because what kids don't like playing with nice dogs. So the dogs are going to get loved on that day anyway. And then if one of them happens to be adopted at the same time, then yay, you know, but they're just going to get loved on. And so Tammy and I are going to host some community events with that as well. So we're looking to grow it even bigger at this point. Any question? I know that was quick. I was planning on more, but that's all I got.
And I would say this, when they come to the community events, it's going to be really hard for the parents to turn down a bawling, crying kid who wants the beautiful, cute puppy that is right there wagging his tail and licking them all over their face.
Right. That's the plan. That is the plan. It's hard to say no when they're there and cute. Wagging. Yeah, they're going to be so happy.
Luana, what is the cost for the adoption fees that you incur?
So any pet that is on death row is free adoption. The 2 shelters here. So I now work with 4 rescues and 2 shelters. And I also have a partnership with my local vet. That's something I forgot to mention. So I went to my local vet. I've been going to the same vet for about 13 years. And so she knows me and my dogs very well. I went to her and I told her what I was doing. So it all started because people started finding stray dogs and immediately reaching out to me because they knew I'd find the dog a home. And so I sponsored adoption fees if they were adopted, but if it's a stray dog and there's no adoption fee, I sponsor the first vet visit instead, up to $500. So most of the rescues have an adoption fee of $200 for adult dogs and $300 for puppies. And then it's usually like $150 for cats. The local shelters, it's only a $50 or a $100 adoption fee. And if they're on death row, then it's free. And they cover the vet bills for up to a year with any dog that's on death row. So some of the 19 pets we've placed, we didn't have any costs associated at all, but I've never had a cost more than $500. And that $500 was when I sponsored the first vet bill up to $500. And honestly, I think the vet bill was like $475. I don't even think it hit the 500 mark. But so I would say on average, if you do the 19 times maybe 200. I don't know if like give and take, because some are more expensive than others. But
And then let's talk
definitely
about,
minimal compared to the money I've gotten back out of it.
oh yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about the care package that you send when they first adopt the thing. Like, what does it look like? Do you have pictures of it that you can share?
I have a picture of one I can share. So they're all very different depending on the type of dog, size of dog, and age of dog. So for the 2 first little ones, they were like teeny tiny Chihuahua puppies. And I mean, you've got to put them in little clothes. That's just adorable, but maybe that's not so adorable on like a big, huge dog. So I do have one client who's a huge Texans fan. And so whenever they did adopt a bigger dog, and I bought like a Texans football jersey, like a dog jersey for the dog, and I sent that in their care package. And it also depends if the family already has pets or not. So if they already have pets, chances are they might have a dog bed already. They might have dog bowls already. But if this is their first pet, they probably don't have any of that. So it just kind of depends. If it's their first pet and I know this about them and I know they don't have anything set up, I try to make sure I bring the care package with me when I bring the pup. And it's a big basket, and it's going to have like a food bowl, a water bowl, some squeaker toys, some dog treats, maybe like a little bag of dog food to get them started for the first few days. And especially if they come from a rescue, like the rescue already gives like 2 big gallon, like the gallon Ziploc bags full of food. So I put that in their care package. And then I put like a collar and a leash. And again, depending on the size of the dog, I might put a big dog or like a big bed or a little bed or something like that. And one time I included a crate because the person who adopted still lived in an apartment and their house was being built, but it wasn't built yet. And so she didn't want the dog to go to the bathroom in the apartment. So I included like a little dog crate in that one. And so instead of putting it in a basket, the crate became the basket. And then we just put a bow around that. But I usually spend, I'd say $100 or less on each basket.
Okay. And then let's talk about how many transactions do you feel? I mean, I know it's hard, right? Because there's a lot of factors that go into it. But if you were to say, hey, no, I really met these people from this experience, how many do you think that would be?
Can for sure guarantee that 5 people have closed. I've met 9 and at least 5 have closed and the other 4 are still in my database. Like I know they're going to transact and I know I'm going to be their realtor when they do, but they're not ready yet. And so the 5 for sure I know came from there is because I didn't have them in my database. I didn't know them at all until they reached out to me and told me that they got my contact information from the rescue. So I know like in Follow Up Boss, like the source is, you know, the dog adoptions. So I know for sure those 5 have closed. Now, if I had to think about how much of my normal, I sell between 35 and 45 transactions a year. And 90% of that is repeat and referral business. It's already SOI from my database. So if I had to guess, I would probably say another 5 per year that I've had these people on Facebook. They're part of my SOI, but I don't stay in touch with them. I do not communicate with them. They don't even necessarily get invites to my community events or my client events. They're literally people I've known for 20 years from high school or something in my database, and they're reaching out to me about real estate. And when we're talking, they say, oh, I saw your video about the pet adoptions, or my cousin adopted a dog and you helped them. So knowing that, I would say probably with the layering effect of seeing me everywhere, it's probably added probably 5 transactions per year if I had to guess.
And Luana, if you were to say, you know what, this would be something that would be super cool to incorporate into this. I haven't done it yet, but these are like just an idea that I had that would make it super awesome. What would that be?
The having pets at my Christmas event. So I have a photo with Santa picture event every year. And we do we have like 4 staging areas where we have letters to Santa where kids can write a letter. And then we have cookie decorating. And then we have Santa in the back room. And everyone has a 15-minute time slot with Santa. And so while they're waiting on their time slot, they can do the other things. And I feel like, especially because it's the Christmas season, in general, it would be super cute to have puppies there or kittens or whatever for them to love on. And I like Tammy, I feel like the parents would have a hard time saying no, especially around Christmas time. And then it could be a gift from Santa there that they could take home. So I've been thinking about doing that, but I also want to do it in a way that doesn't offend the not pet lovers. I don't want the not pet lovers to quit coming. So I've got to figure out how to do that. But that's one thing that I really want to incorporate. And then another thing I would really love to incorporate, I just started doing videos, guys. I finally joined the video bandwagon. It was very difficult at first, but I'm doing it. So I would say I think I'm going to go, because I call all these animals my nieces and nephews, by the way, and I still get pictures and video updates of my little Chihuahua pups and all my other pups that I've placed. Like the owners love me and they send me picture updates and video updates of these dogs with their families all the time. So I go visit them about once a year and take them little toys and stuff. So I would love to do a video testimony of like the pet in the video, the kids in the video, and like, hey, you know, how did you adopt your dog? Tell me the story. And having my clients do a video testimony for us to use. I think I'm going to start incorporating that. I would love to hear feedback from all of you guys. If you think there is something that I could do to add add to it, I'm happy to hear that as well.
What do you guys think?
Well, we had talked about her getting branded 5 dog bandanas.
Yeah, I forgot.
Having them at the events.
That's right. I forgot about that. So I'm going to get branded stuff. I've never done branded goodies for the care package. I think I'm going to start adding branded goodies to the care package so that it's like real estate branded. My dogs have little bandanas that say my mommy sells real estate. And when I go through the neighborhood, my neighbors always compliment their little bandanas. So I think I'm going to get something branded and send it out real estate related in the care packages.
Emily, is that an option on our, are you already looking?
It is. We
Well,
do have a dog bowl and then we have a collar. I know that we can get a leash. So yeah,
Yay.
those are options.
I'm so
for sure.
excited. Great. And making a bandana is so easy. You literally just cut a piece of fabric and my friend has a Cricut or whatever, and we do like a press with an iron on. So it's really easy to make those. We can probably make 50 in an hour. It's so easy. So that's something we could do for sure.
I
So
do have a question.
Luana,
Oh,
I'm
whoops.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Tammy.
Who was that?
So, our daughter that works for us is big into her dog too. I mean, we love ours, but she's very big into her dog. So she actually has branded her dog on everything so far. Like her closing key that she has, hers says house approved by Harley. That's the name of her dog. It's on her signs, her open house signs. She does now videos that it's at a very little at the bottom. It's a circle. It's a picture of her dog, and it's Harley approved around the little circle. She now has started shooting videos with her that are incredibly cute. That on vacant houses, she goes through the house and the she has gone in, I think it's Chat GPT, and creates a little script, and then the dog is running through different rooms and it's saying different things and it's talking in the background. And
Adorable.
the views she's getting is insane on her videos. So she's branding everything around her dog. Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be fun to put a GoPro on a dog and let them walk through the
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
house.
God.
It's funny.
Yeah, that's what it is. She runs through the house and talks about, wow, look at this bathroom. I could enjoy getting in this tub, and then she jumps in the tub, and they're super cute. So, and she's got a pretty good following started with all her views. So that's something you could think about.
Yeah. My dogs are not behaved well enough to do that, but definitely um I just need another dog that I can train from a puppy to do that. Tell my husband.
Hmm. It's a need
It's a
Exactly, for
business
work.
write-off too, right?
to write
Get the
off.
dog
Yeah.
trainers, send them away for 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
My question is, when you have the event, do you have people from the and I may have missed this because I was on late, but do you have people from the adoption agencies there? Like, so if we brought somebody to an event, they're there and they're manning it because they're going to be there handling the adoptions and all the paperwork and answering the questions. You're just helping to provide the event and the area for them,
So I
right?
haven't started the events yet, but I talked to my friend who runs the rescue, and she said that if they were foster pets, like if they were already in a foster home with their rescue, the foster parents would stay there during the event. And all the applications are done online. So there would be a QR code where they can go online right then and do the application. And they work 24/7 just like us because they want these dogs to find a
Yep.
home. So they right then and there they could have the application approved before the person went home. The caveat to that is if the person does have other pets, they want to do a 24-hour trial visit to make sure that the pets get along before the adoption's final.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't be finalized if they had another pet at home. They would want to do a pet interview first.
Something I just thought of. I mean, I don't know what percentage it could be. Obviously, my natural intuition would to be to say 5. But if you some people just don't want another pet and don't want to make that be the thing. But if you say, hey, every person that buys a home or sells a home through me, a percentage of my commission goes towards,
Mhm.
giving to a charity that focuses on pets and I don't know, so that they can feel like even though they didn't want a pet, that they can still support shelters and things like that. Just an
I
idea.
forgot to mention, thank you for bringing that up. So we do a $50 donation. Every closing that Arbor has, the rescue that my friend runs gets a $50 donation from us for every closing.
I love it.
I forgot to mention that. Thank you.
I wanted to ask a question, like when you're in a listing presentation with somebody you've never met with before, they're just, I don't know, they called off a postcard or wherever. Is that something you bring up to them? Is the charity and the dog adoption stuff that you do? Because I think that would be a great idea, like Nazar said, to always incorporate, like, when we close, we sell your home, there'll be a $50 donation made, in your
Mhm.
name to this foundation.
Yeah, we do. We have it on the flyer. So we have a flyer that goes in all of our buyer packets and a flyer that goes in all of our listing packets. And it says on there that we've been helping find humans and pets homes since 2019. And it goes into detail on there that we sponsor all adoption fees for all of our clients, and that for every closing, there's a $50 donation made. That's part of the marketing packet that we do. And we
Awesome.
also have flyers that we post, and again, we send it out twice a year to our database, and we have flyers that we post as well online that say the same thing. And I have a lot of people, again, like, find the thing that you're passionate about. If you don't love dogs, this is probably not the thing for you. I did it because I was passionate about it, and then it grew into this. It was never a plan, but it grew into this. If you find something that you're passionate about, whatever that looks like, the secret is when I started systematizing it and being intentional with it. That's when it really started growing. So for years, I probably 15 years, I did it without tracking it and without being intentional. So once I got it, when I was trying to find those two little chihuahuas a home, and it hit me, that's when we started making the flyers and we started adding it to the newsletter and we started sending out the emails. So had I started that years ago when I started being passionate about finding the pet, the dog's homes, I probably would have placed so many more by now and gotten so much more business by now. So whatever your thing that you're passionate about, mine happens to be pets, and I'm very fortunate because people are crazy about their pets. I was listening to a real estate podcast, and the girl's like, I always get 50 to 100 views on all my videos. And I posted, one of her clients was a foster mom to a cat. And it was a little teeny tiny kitten that was a couple weeks old. And she took it with her to closing. So this realtor who's hosting the podcast said she took a picture with this teeny tiny kitten and posted it on her page. And it had went viral. It had thousands of likes and comments and reposts and shares. And all she did was take a picture with the cat and say, help us find this kitty a home. And it went crazy. So for me, like, the fact that my thing that I'm passionate about happens to be animals and people love their pets, it really, I was able to go on that with the care package and the Instagram. And I always tell everyone, if you post anything, can you please tag me in Arbor and like give us credit? And I have to tell my clients that. The first client, I didn't have to tell. She just did it. And then I assumed everyone was going to do it. But then other people weren't doing it. And I learned really quick, I had to be intentional and ask, like, hey, if you post anything about this online, can you tag Arbor that we sponsored the adoption? I'm just trying to bring awareness. And they're like, oh, of course. So everyone's constantly posting pictures of their pets, even more than their spouses and their family and their kids. So it really grew from that, I think.
It'd be cool to maybe even have like a Facebook page where all those people could like have, feel comfortable posting pictures of their cute little dogs and videos of their animals.
I'm totally going to do that. That's
That'd be
great.
fun. And you can create a community, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to
Mhm.
be people that, have adopted a pet through you or whatever, but just in general. You guys, I wanted to hear some ideas of what you guys feel like, because I'm not like, I love my dogs, but when they pee in my home, I literally want to chop off their penises, excuse my French. And like they drive me insane when they do that. Like they're small dogs, so I do have diapers that I put on them, but they still pee. And I take them to my office and they pee there. Like I don't know how to fix that. And so like I'm not super. I love my dogs, but I'm not passionate about dogs. And so that's not my thing. And so, is there anything else that you guys like have that you think you're passionate about that you can kind of get the same idea, but then implement it to something else that you'd like to share with the group, or you're already doing now? I'm curious.
Marg's not on here. Marg Watson is in Florida, and she's huge into the horse community. And I know
Yeah.
like her stuff is her and her horses, and she's always posting stuff about her and her horses and the events and the stuff that she goes. And she has a darling little Jack Russell too. So, but
True.
I think too, like going back to what Tessa was saying, like introducing that, not everybody, like Nazar, not everybody's passionate about dogs. But people still love animals. So I think that it's still like, oh, it's showing like you're giving something to something. And it could go to other things as well. Like my husband's in charge of this big charity event this weekend with a bunch of different churches in the area, and they've pulled in a bunch of different nonprofits. So they have one that is with the minor league hockey team for the LA Kings that's right here. And they do this huge back to school event where they do backpacks stuffed with stuff. So that's something. And I've seen people do that too, where you can be like, hey, you know, for every closing, we donate to this that provides school supplies or lunches or other things, you know, even if you chose like a little league or something that is in your community. One year, and I know a lot of you guys know this, Nazar, it was during COVID. Girl Scouts couldn't sell their cookies, so we bought 10 boxes of Girl Scout cookies from every Girl Scout in our area that reached out to us. And then we donated it back to the schools because the teachers were still there for a part-time. So I think there's a lot of things, being involved in your community and just finding what is it that you're passionate about and have that be your thing. Just, you know, like partner with them.
And then, like, you guys know, like, you know, the beginning of this year, you know, we gave out, I don't know how much money it was. Like, it was like $5, $7 or $8,000 checks that we wrote. And so next year that it's gonna be a lot bigger, that number. And so, and every year is gonna get bigger and bigger. And so just know that, you know, that's something that even though you are not directly paying into it, like we are writing those checks. And so, you know, being a part of a company that does that. And you know, maybe this next year, instead of doing only 5 checks, maybe we do, you know, like different regions, and, you know, maybe they're not as huge, but they're, you know, I don't know, maybe we say if it gets to like that $5,000 mark, then we figure out, you know, we divide it. And so we can, you know, service more people and service more things, more people and communities. And so just at least acknowledging that, right? Like saying, hey, every 5% of all the commissions that we earn go towards that. And like you guys understand that, right? Like every single person in here that sells a house, 5% of that gross commissions goes towards a contribution to charity. And so like everyone gets to say that. We all participate in it. Every single one of you that sells a house participates in that charity. It's not just a 5 thing, it's a you thing. So own that, you know, like acknowledge it, use that in your marketing. I think it's a powerful tool to be able to let people know that we're not just here to sell homes and be self-serving, that we're here to be able to make this community, our communities, a better and nicer place. So, all right, guys, unless you have other questions, I hope that this can give you some inspiration to be able to go out there and do something good in this world and make it a better place. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be able to do this and just sharing from your heart. I think it's beautiful and amazing and fun. Otherwise, you guys have an amazing weekend and go sell some homes and make a difference. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Luana.
Thank you.
You for sharing.